I still remember the heavy drape of disappointment that settled over me the moment I scanned the graduation program and saw, in tiny italics under my name, proudly presented by the Jones family. I had imagined my parents there, front row, matching their ties and dresses to my school colors, smiling until their cheeks cramped. Instead, what I found was an empty seat with a scrawled post-it note from my mom. "Can't make it, Super Bowl party at Bill's. Love, Mom and Dad." I stared at the bright yellow square for a long moment, the words swimming. Super Bowl, graduation. Two events once a year, one marked every 4 years by the media blitz and multi-million-dollar commercials, the other a once-in-a-lifetime achievement for your daughter. I fingered the note, my heart tightening. 9 a.m., University Quad. I swept across the grassy quad in my cap and gown, tassel bobbing under the winter sky, hugging my roommate Sarah first. "Jules," she squealed, hugging me so hard I felt her breath tickle my ear. "Pinned it." I smoothed her cerulean stole and beamed. "You did too, Dr. Weaver." We posed for a dozen selfies, my cap pinned with little glittering grad charms, hers waving like a tiny flag of triumph. Nearby, my best friend Malik, mortarboard askew, waved the campus banner overhead for the requisite Instagram shot. "Look at us," he said, grinning. "We survived 120 credits, 4 senior theses, and Dr. Keller's existential dread lectures." I laughed. "And not a single one of us sold to pharmaceutical companies." He winked. Yet, the nerves drifted away in the company of my people. Sarah, suited to become a pediatric nurse. Malik, bound for a PhD in anthropology. Lena, our fearless class president. In this crowd, I wasn't alone. 10:30 a.m., ceremonial stage chancellor Simmons' booming voice echoed over the loudspeakers. "Class of 2025, today we celebrate your achievements." The sea of gowns rippled as students adjusted their stoles, ready to cross the stage. I scanned the front rows out of habit, searching for Mom's bright red coat or Dad's bow tie. I found only empty chairs dotted with programs. My chest tightened. Sarah nudged me, whispered, "They'll show up." I nodded, trusting her optimism, but my throat was thick. My name was called. I rose, heart pounding like a bass drum. As I walked toward the stage, 1,000 pairs of eyes tracking me, I steadied myself on the steel riser. Chancellor Simmons shook my hand, handed me the diploma scroll. I gripped it like a lifeline and moved on. From my vantage point back in the chairs, I searched again. Empty, no waving arms, no proud tears. I sat down, clutched the scroll to my chest, and tried not to let my disappointment flare into tears. 11:45 a.m., post-ceremony gathering. After the ceremony, families clustered around graduates, snapping photos, sharing hugs. Sarah's parents flanked her proudly. Malik's grandmother fussed over his academic regalia. Lena's extended family formed a half-dozen ringlets of celebration. I lingered, diploma in hand, waiting. My phone buzzed, a group chat labeled family and friends. "Mom, go Team Bengals. Sorry we can't make it, but the vibe is electric." Orzalan, Dad, enjoy your big day. Dinner on us later. Uncle Bill, eat extra cupcakes for me at the tailgate. My breath caught. Don't make it. Big day, salad maybe later. I felt so small. My best friend Lena wrapped her arm around me. "Your parentals are committed," she said gently. I forced a laugh. I guess priorities are priorities. Sarah leaned in. "They'll send a card, right?" "Sure." I smiled, voice brittle. I loved my parents. They cheered me through my last C+ in organic chemistry and volunteered in my lab hours. But baseball was less important than my future. Or so I thought. 1 p.m., campus tailgate. All my friends headed to the tailgate. I decided to stay on campus a bit longer, to soak in the last of my student life. I lingered by the statue of our founder, arms crossed over my gown. Malik jogged over. "Come on, Jules. We have a reservation at Cafe Verde, crescent rolls and mimosas." I shook my head. "I'm not hungry." He sighed. "Family drama again. Look, you know they love you. They just love the Bengals more." I forced a grin. "Thanks. But I'm meeting them after I get my pictures." He patted my shoulder. "I'll hang with you until they show. Or if they don't." He grinned. "Then we'll crash my uncle's buffet." I laughed. "Deal." On the walk back to our dorm, my phone chimed. "Mom, we lost Betty #95. Sue, sad. We gotta go." "Good luck." I sighed. Deep emotional investment. Sarah elbowed me. "Focus on the future, Jules." I tucked my diploma under my arm. Future. 3:30 p.m. My apartment. I changed out of my gown in the dorm bathroom, admittedly hiding tears in the stall. and then caught the shuttle back to my apartment. My roommate Ava was waiting by the front door. Vanessa's flowers delivered these for you. 10 roses from Mom and Dad. She handed me the bouquet, red velvet stems, a note that read, "Congratulations, sweetheart. Sorry we missed it. Love, MND." I inhaled the blooms and read the note twice. Guilt settled like fog. I set the roses in a vase and flopped onto the couch. My phone buzzed again. "Mom's so proud of you. Let's do dinner at the Bruins game. I'll pick you up. Dad, let me know when you want that pizza and birthday cake." My head swam. Dinner at a hockey game? Pizza and birthday cake? Was that supposed to qualify as celebration? Hunger and hurt warred in my gut. 6 p.m., parents' house. I decided to go. Each step up their stone path felt like treading old memories. The door swung open before I knocked. My parents both stood there, grinning. Mom swept me into a hug. "There she is," Dad ruffled my hair. "You look fantastic, Grad." I managed a smile. "Thanks." They ushered me into the living room, trail of confetti on the floor, a giant TV set to ESPN's pre-game show. Buffalo chicken wings lined the coffee table, nachos and 7-layer dip, and wouldn't you know, Stouffer's frozen lasagna in the oven. A sheet cake frosted with "Congrats, Grad." Red and blue icing. I stared. "You made lasagna for graduation dinner?" Mom shrugged. "We wanted to watch the game." Dad muffled a buffalo wing in his mouth. "But we also thought this was about you. So pizza, wings, and cake." He looked sheepish. "We figured your friends would love it." I sat heavily on the couch, Elsa the cat weaving around my feet. We turned on the broadcast, teams feeding the ball, star quarterbacks glancing at the sidelines. My parents cheered each play. I cleared my throat. "Mom, Dad, thanks. But missing graduation hurt more than I thought." Mom squeezed my hand. "I know, and I'm sorry. It got away from me." Dad nodded. "We messed up." I exhaled, soft. "We did. But thank you for the roses." They exchanged a glance. "Of course." 6:30 p.m. Kitchen. I drifted into the kitchen. Mom slid a plate of lasagna in front of me. "Eat something, honey." I nibbled. "I'm not really hungry." She pressed her palm to her forehead. "Okay, tough crowd. But we did get something else." She rummaged in her apron. "Debit card. $900. I gaped. "For tuition?" Dad chimed from the living room. Carter called. "He's wired it for your student loans, as a late graduation gift." My head swam. "You told him?" "I don't need, I can manage." Mom's eyes brimmed. "We know you can." We just felt awful. Dad hovered in the doorway. "But that's not all." He held out a manila envelope. Inside, crisp bills, $2,000. "This is what we saved for our beach trip. We want you to have it for the next step. Moving, job hunting, whatever." I shook my head, tears prickling. "I can't take this." Mom's lower lip trembled. "We were wrong to skip your day. We thought money would fix it, but..." "No." She wiped her eyes. "We missed it and we missed you." Dad stepped forward. "We thought we showed you we cared with pizza and wings. But it wasn't about food or money. It was about being there. And we owe you more." I stared at them, the envelope heavy in my hands. For the first time in months, I felt truly seen. They hadn't understood soccer games, science fairs, and now graduation meant more than Super Bowls. But they were trying to learn. 7:15 p.m., living room. I walked back to the couch. Degree scroll tucked under one arm, envelope in hand. My parents turned off the game. The TV went black. Silence bright with possibility. I sat between them. Mom grabbed my hand. Dad draped an arm around my shoulders. I took a deep breath. "Thank you for the roses, the money, and for apologizing." Mom's tears slipped freely. "We love you." Dad nodded. "Next time we're there." "No matter what." I smiled through my own tears. "Deal." We sat there, the flicker of the fireplace warming us, the unspoken promise glowing brighter than any gridiron highlight. My graduation had been marred, but in its place grew something stronger. The knowledge that even when parents stumble, love can still score the winning touchdown. That night, after our quiet living room reconciliation, I lay in bed scrolling through graduation photos on my phone. Shot after shot of me in my gown, mortarboard perched at a jaunty angle, holding my diploma aloft, each one a moment I'd almost missed. I tapped my dad's number and hesitated, thumb hovering over call. Finally, I pressed send. "Me, thanks again for tonight. It meant more than I can say. His reply came almost immediately. Dad, we love you. Proud of you always. I set the phone aside and closed my eyes, drifting off with a sense of peace that had eluded me all day. The next morning, I woke to my alarm, blaring pomp and circumstance, a cheeky nod from Sarah, who had programmed it on my phone remotely. I groaned, then stretched, remembering the tailgate that never was and the party that did. My parents had insisted on breakfast at home, and when I wandered downstairs, I found the kitchen table set with my old graduation day mug, filled with coffee, and a stack of pancakes in the shape of the school's mascot, Blue Bear. Good morning, Grad, Mom said, pouring syrup. We thought we'd do brunch right. Dad grinned, holding up a small gift bag. And a little something else. Inside was a leather portfolio embossed with my initials. They opened it to reveal a letter of recommendation Dad had drafted for my first job search, along with a gift certificate for a professional portrait session. So you can look as ready for the world as you truly are, Mom said. I felt tears sting once more. Thank you, both of you. We ate, laughed about morning, after headaches and burnt waffles of years past, and shared real plans for the future instead of SportsCenter highlights. Moving forward that week, I met with my university's career advisor, portfolio in hand. When I told her the backstory, that my parents had skipped graduation but now were fully behind me, she smiled and said, well, you've shown resilience and the ability to turn setbacks into comebacks. That's exactly what top employers look for. I polished my resume, drove the loan-forgiven minivan to a portrait studio, and suited up for professional headshots. The best photo, me in emerald green blouse, diploma portfolio on my lap, a confident smile, became my LinkedIn profile picture. I posted it with a caption, new graduate and ready to launch, grateful for everyone who stood by me, even when I stood alone. Within days, I had 3 interviews. One led to an offer from a boutique marketing agency valuing creativity and grit. When I called Mom and Dad to share the news, they erupted in cheers I could hear through the phone. A year later, I stood at the entrance of my first art-directed campaign launch, ribbon in hand, parents at my side, Mom in a vintage silk dress, Dad in a crisp navy blazer. My agency's lobby glowed with posters of the new brand I'd helped create, a minimalist logo, vibrant color palette, an entire campaign built on authentic storytelling. Mom squeezed my hand. Look at this, you made your dreams real. Dad patted my back, and we wouldn't have missed it for the world. I cut the ribbon, and the crowd applauded. My heart soared, knowing that no Super Bowl, no frozen lasagna buffet could ever outshine the love and pride of my parents. We'd weathered the storm of mixed priorities and grown closer for it. Later, as the reception wound down, I slipped away to the balcony overlooking the skyline. My phone chimed, Sarah, congrats, boss lady. Drinks at 8, I typed back, wouldn't miss it. Then I looked up at the city lights, thought of Ella. I bought her a little golden book at the company bookstore as a souvenir and texted her dad, me guess who's on the billboard downtown. Carter, our favorite single mom, I laughed, imagining Ella's face if she saw her mom's face lit up on a screen. Because in the end, my graduation wasn't measured by empty seats or halftime shows. It was measured by the resilience to stand tall when others sat down, the grace to accept love after disappointment, and the courage to keep chasing new beginnings. And as I stepped back into the party, surrounded by colleagues, parents, and my daughter's goofy grin in the company of her dad, I knew this was only the first chapter of a life I was proud to call my own.